What's going on there, YouTube? Gores here, giving you guys a spicy deck profile and combo tutorial for Adamancipator Rollback. So, transaction rollback lock is essentially when we send the transaction rollback from deck to grave, as well as a copy of the Mayakashi Shiranui story, which prevents both players from special summoning for a turn, and the rollback can copy it. So, our whole goal is to get to Beatrice and then pop off from there. First and foremost, I would like to apologize for the previous upload because that video was about this as well. Unfortunately, I had my rough draft that got published instead of this video. So we're going to just get right into it and show off what we got here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to normal summon out the Kawaki Mirror Guardian and then special summon our Researcher. We're going to use Researcher's effect to excavate top 5 and getting our Kawaki Mirror Guardian. From there, we're going to go off and sink into the Raptite and then use the Raptite effect to excavate top 5, and we'll get a Doki Doki. That's going to let us use the Doki Doki to discard the Supplier. We probably could have just special summoned Supplier there, but I didn't really want to clog our board too much. So we're going to go ahead, get our Analyzer, and then use the Analyzer to excavate the top 5, and then we're going to get Dragite off that. And that's going to let us draw a card. And then from here, we're going to go ahead, synchro into the Excel Synchro Dragon, which will let us bring back the Researcher, and then we can synchro 10 into our Baron de Fleur. From there, we're going to pay 1,000 for the Ready Fusion, and we're going to get Mystic Sand, and then that's going to let us overlay into the Beatrice. We can also synchro summon into Leonite, and then potentially add another Adamancipator card off the Leonite, which is pretty fun, and then be able to make the Beatrice and still do the lock, and then we can Ready Fusion into a Tuner, and then sync that off into Cupid Pitch, and potentially go into another level 10 Synchro. So then we can send the rollback, and then link these two off into Little Knight, and then on our opponent's turn, we can send the Mayakashi, and then we'll be able to use the rollback and the Mayakashi Shiranui Saga to be able to lock our opponent completely out of playing the game. And then as you can see, our follow-up would be normal summoning the Guardian and then playing the Ready Fusion to be able to synchro into potentially another copy of Raptite or the Leonite, and just be able to keep going from there and potentially OTK our opponent, usually OTK our opponent, and we don't even know what we're drawing from there. So let's get into the deck profile so you guys can check that out. All right, so here's the deck profile. We have a couple of other options that I've put in the side deck here that you guys can check out. The extra deck is super fluid. As long as you can just get to Beatrice, you can pretty much play however you want. But as for the deck, we have 3 Analyzer, 3 Dragite, 3 Researcher, 3 Seeker, and 3 Signs for the Adamancipator engine. This is just to increase the consistency of seeing our tuners, as well as being able to do the Dragite Almirage play with Signs to be able to stack our Researcher or Seeker on top, and then be able to get to our Raptite and potentially another Rock Monster. 3 Doki Doki, just so that we can see our main starter. Hand traps are extremely prevalent in this format, so be really careful how you play this card. Make sure you can continue if you do see this. And then next up, we have the Kawaki Miru package of 3 Guardian, 3 Supplier. For the spell cards, we're on 3 copies of Ready Fusion. This is going to be our main extender. This card is insane. It lets us go to Mystical Sand, it lets us go to Alvain, and lets us go to Fusionist. Fusionist being a level 3 Earth, as well as our level 2 Earths to be able to make our Naturia Beast. And then, of course, we have our rollback combo, and then for our flex spots, we have 11 of them. You could probably opt to play 41 if you really wanted, but it does kind of mess up your percentages a little bit. And then we have the 2 Nibiru, 3 Bell, 3 Droll, and Lockbird. And then to be able to correct hands that we see if we open with Rollback or the Shiranui, we are playing 3 copies of Forbidden Droplet. Being able to send our trap card essentially means we still lock them and force them to use an effect. Or potentially this droplet was so good that we just get to lock them on the following turn, which means we just basically won the game by doing that. So as far as extra options, you can play Kartorin if you feel like you need to get to the level 4 synchros a little bit more, or if you feel like you really need that extra extender. Hoppier Squadron is another really solid option if you're on the Cupid Pitch, because then we can go and add this card off our Cupid Pitch. And then we also have the Herald of the Arclight. And then for the level 6 synchros, we have the Coral Dragon and the Tri-Edge Master. These are pretty good options if you don't feel like Leonite is going to do quite enough, because they guarantee draw cards, so, and you can whiff off the Leonite. So it's just up to you, preference. speaking. I mean, Coral Dragon is a tuner and also pops a card, and then Tri-Edge Master is pretty decent too, being at 2100. And then we have Carbonala Warrior. This is if you're playing Gallant Granite or Dweller, just because then it makes Ready Fusion another way to access your rank 4s a little bit more consistently. This can be any level 4 fusion. You could even do Rare Fish if you want to see the Dweller play a little bit more. So, and then Typhon, just because Typhon is really good against the heavy hitters of the format. Appaloosa, if you feel like it's worth playing. I don't personally think so, but if you like Appaloosa in this deck, like I don't think it's a terrible pick. I just think there are better options for you. And then next up, another option you can do is Hita, because Almirage is a fire. So if you do have that like Dragite Almirage play and like they Ash Blossomed you, for example, this can kind of get you to at least Promethean plus Ambler Whale, because then you can make Hita with Almirage Dragite, and then you can use Hita, summon back the their Ash Blossom, and then link those off into Promethean. Promethean summon back Hita, and then link those off into Ambler Whale. And then if you're going second, you can make the Zelantis, or if you're siding or maining Tactics, you can also just steal their monster and make Zelantis. So that's it for the deck profile. If you guys like content like this, make sure you guys smash that subscribe button. You guys have been super supportive lately. You guys are awesome. You guys know I love you. So make sure you guys put that down in the comments below what deck you want to see next. This is Gores hopping off.